Merry Christmas Eve, everyone. I am so happy to be here with y'all live. I asked a polling question earlier this week on what would be the best time to go live. Like I'm trying to do a consistent live cadence on Sundays. Last Sunday I went live with my friend Sean. She joined me all the way live from Vietnam. And that was at 9 o'clock. And then I was seeing some comments from people saying this was too late, do them earlier. So I did a polling question on my community tab here on YouTube, and the votes were to have them at 7 p.m. So I want to see how this goes. It's Christmas Eve, so I decided to do this. Last Sunday, I'm like, I think I'm gonna make this a cadence, knowing that this Sunday is Christmas Eve, and then next Sunday is New Year's Eve. So I don't know if I'm gonna be on next Sunday at 7 and maybe a little bit earlier, but next year the goal is to go live on Sundays talking about money and travel. So I want to bring people on that I've met during my through my travels the last 13 months before coming back to the US, and share personal finance tips live. So that is one of my goals for the first quarter of 2024. If y'all watch my and be intentional video, y'all know I like to set quarterly goals. It's not really a whole like year, like I'm trying to do all these things and then you get to December and be like, I didn't do any of my New Year's resolution goals. So that is the goal for me for Q1 at least. Because I know when it's summertime come, I'm not gonna want to be live with y'all on Sundays, but to go live every Sunday. Right now, I'm thinking it's gonna be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The poll is still up, so if you haven't seen that poll and you're like, no, you should do it another time, let me know. Because I want to make sure when I go live, I have people on watching. And typically, I will share on my social media, like my Instagram and my Facebook. But I really haven't been on social media a whole lot the last couple months. So I'm really trying to see what I generate with just me on YouTube. So anyway, if you are just joining, welcome. Merry Christmas Eve. Um, if nobody else on this live, it's gonna be my mama. Merry Christmas Eve, mother. Even though we've been hanging out all day, I know this time of year can be difficult for some people because they may have just maybe their first Christmas without a certain loved one in their lives, or it's a time of joy, but for some people this is the worst time of the year. So if that is you, my thoughts and prayers are with you. Even if you're watching on the replay, today is actually my grandmother's birthday. She passed away in 2016, but it was hard the first few years after she passed away because Christmas Eve, she loved Christmas. She had Christmas stuff up. She was very seasonal. So it was hard the first few years when she first passed away. So I get it. It still can be tough at times. So again, sending you lots of love and prayers if this is a very difficult time for you. Now, tomorrow is Christmas. So what are y'all doing for Christmas tomorrow? I'm curious to know. I will be with my family. We typically get together at somebody's house. It ain't been my house yet. I haven't been on hosting duties. So I'm gonna keep just driving to whoever is hosting. But y'all, this year I was assigned the duty of bringing the ham. I know, right? Well, I signed up for the ham. It was some open slots, and I'm like, I'm gonna bring the ham. And I know some people in my family see my name next to that, like, Tasha doing the ham? Yep. So I will be with my family tomorrow, on Christmas Day. This Today I started my day off at church, and then me and my mom and my brothers went out to uh a early lunch brunch type of thing. And then I've been working on decluttering. We went for a walk, my mom and I, to walk off some of that food we ate, and I was working on decluttering. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. This live is about what are you leaving in 2023. So not only telling you Merry Christmas Eve and figuring out what you're doing for Christmas, and setting my cadence for going live every Sunday. It's also about what are you leaving in 2023. That's usually the negative things. That's what this live is about today. And before I get into what I'm leaving in 2023, I want to talk about my Kenya Christmas. So last year, this time I was in Nairobi, Kenya, and it was my first Christmas away from the US, from my family and friends, but out of the US of A. Every Christmas that I can remember, I've always been with my mom and my brothers. So that was a little weird, but in Kenya, it was 80 degrees. It was nice, and I met some amazing people that I was hanging out with. We went bowling. We were shooting pool. We just went walking around, exploring Nairobi, Kenya. And if you have never been to Kenya, it's beautiful. A lot of the places that the area we were in Nairobi reminded me of Buckhead, Atlanta a lot, just because of the landscape and the buildings. So I always get that question, like when I share with people that I've been to Africa, what is it like? And some people think that it's like dirt roads and just animals running around everywhere. I'm like, yeah, if you go to a safari, uh, you will see, you will see that. But there's paved roads, there's buildings, there's shopping. It's western. It's pretty westernized in the heart of Nairobi. But there are some outskirts where it's not as developed. But if you want to see how I spent my Christmas last year in Nairobi, Kenya, I will link that in the comment section during the live or after. It was so much fun. And I was trolling my family last year by sending them videos, letting them know I was in the sunshine and nice 80-degree weather. And I don't know what it was last year here in Michigan. I didn't care because I wasn't here. So last year I was in Kenya for Christmas, and hopefully I can have Tanae. She was the organizer of Christmas last year in Kenya. She is from New York. I want to have her on a live. She wrote an ebook about her experience in Kenya. So and just going there, she spent like 6 months. I only spent a month in Kenya, but she spent a whole 6 months. So hopefully I can have Tanae on and share about her ebook and just our experience on how we met each other. I think it was like 5 or 6 of us that was hanging out all last Christmas. So I was in Kenya last year. So it's good to be back home. I'm actually not really a holiday person. I'm a birthday person. So I wasn't like too devastated, like not being with my friends and family. It was just a little weird. I will say that. So, yeah, before we get into what are we leaving in 2023, if you just joined in, let me know in the comments what you leaving in 2023. But I wanted to reflect on my Kenya experience. I'm missing Kenya, right? I'm missing that weather, that good food. We had so much fun. You got to check out that vlog. And I'm vlogging tomorrow. I've been vlogging today and the last few days. But one of the things I'm leaving in 2023 is the weight I lost. I lost 17 pounds. Like applause for me. I'm taking a while. I'm leaving that in 2023. Now I didn't hit my goal of losing 30 pounds when I came back. So in my intentional video, I was sharing like my weight loss and sharing y'all what I was doing. Then I got into a car accident. I was like, all right, that plan has changed. So, but I did push through. I still lost 17 pounds. I was trying to lose 30. So I got 13 pounds to go, but I've lost a ton of inches. So I'm hoping that the weight I've lost it stays off. It don't follow me nowhere after 2023. Um, so that is one of the things that I want to keep in 2023. Um, Leaving negative people. It was cold here. Hi, Kevin. Thank you for joining. Kevin he watched last Sunday with me and Sean was on. So I'm glad you are on watching this live with me solo. My birthday is in June 14th. So Gemini in the house. I know I'm more than halfway there. Thank you. I was on a roll and then setbacks happened. I was like, I overdid it. The car accident, I really like to work out. That's not my problem. eating. If you've been watching my videos, y'all know I like to eat and I like to drink. Um, it's really more the eating part of it. And I'm not a sweet eater, I'm a bread eater. Like if it's cornbread, if it's some rolls, I'm on it. It's biscuits, I'm eating it and I can't stop eating it. Um, but I got through off pretty much like a month when it's all said and done, like with the whole thing with the car. I actually had back problems, like which I usually don't have. I think it was an accident and the stress of all of the car accident that happened because I actually needed to go and get massages. Now, when I was gallivanting the world, I was like doing spa days and for fun. Like Sean was saying, in Vietnam, it's super cheap to get uh massages and stuff. But here, that ain't the case. But I actually did need to go and get like some therapy sessions because I was like so tight, like I could barely move. And so with that, I couldn't work out. So I was just doing like walking to keep myself active. But I still lost 17 of the 30 that I'm trying to lose. So before I left the US, I actually had surgery and I gained 15 pounds. And then when because I had a horrible recovery with that. And then when I came back from traveling, I had gained 15. So I'm like, oh, I gotta get this 30 pounds off of me. 17, I lost a lot of inches. I wish I would have measured. So if you are just joining, what are you trying to leave in 2023? I've seen negative people. Um, People want to leave. Listen, I just had catfish today. And I just talk about all that stuff. I'm trying to keep my weight off. I definitely had catfish today at my early lunch with some yams and some hush puppies. But guess what? I went hard in the gym yesterday. I still went worked out today. So I do keep a balance of it all. But this time around it's been hard before the accident, it's been hard for me to lose weight. I think it's with aging. I heard this. It's like as you age, it's gonna be harder to keep the weight off. And I thought that, oh, at 25, I felt it. At 30, I felt it. I'm 37, and I'm like, okay, I think it really do get harder as you age to get the weight off. I'm like, what in the heck is going on? So before I left Thailand, I tried to do Weight Watchers, but Weight Watchers trying to scan the stuff and type like different languages, it wasn't working. So if you're not familiar with Weight Watchers, it's a point system. You get so many points to eat a day, which is kind of based on calories and other things. And I was like, this is not. So I had to just go and remember what I did before. But I love working out. I've been doing weight, so I've been toning and all of that. So 17 pounds. I don't want to see any of those pounds come back, even though I've been eating good today and had peach cobbler. So it's been like, ooh, but I went and walked today, and I'm definitely going to do some YouTube videos before I go to my cousin's house tomorrow. So this weight out loss is gonna stay gone. Disappointment, for me, the food I ate, yes, definitely disappointment or disappointment in what? Let me know. But yeah, so next year I'm still gonna continue. Before I even left the US and just in general, I work out 4 to 5 days a week. It's a stress reliever for me, so that's not the issue. I think also I had issues with losing weight when I came back just because the change in the food I was eating. A lot of our food here is a lot more processed, and I definitely felt that. Like I really had that was one of the adjustments I had of coming back after being gone for a little over a year. Just eating food in general here was just harder. Like even the stuff getting at the grocery store is like it's different when being overseas. I don't know why I'm getting tongue tied there, but it's like I had some stomach issues when I first came back, just the food itself. So yeah. And the reason why I gained the weight being gone was because I wasn't working out as much as I was. Like literally pretty much my whole adult life I've always hitting the gym. And then you go from hitting the gym all the time to not hitting the gym. And then traveling and all of that stuff, it was just an up and down roller coaster. And then when it was all said and done, I gained 15 pounds. So I want to keep the weight off I lost. Also, I'm really being more focused on like not trying to eat as much processed stuff. So when I say that, I mean like when I pick up something and I read the ingredients, it don't have a whole bunch of words I can't pronounce in it. So I've been doing good with that since I've been back and I'm trying to do even more. So better with that. So when I mentioned the car accident and being really tight and that delayed me from working out for a minute, the masseuse mentioned that I was a lot of my tension and muscle tightness was because I was dehydrated, she thought. And she was like, you need more electrolytes. So I have been making natural electrolyte drink, and I've been noticing a difference with like the muscle relaxation and just overall just feeling better. So I definitely needed more electrolytes. It wasn't more water; it was like needed more electrolytes. Um, so from there, and I'm like, oh, I was making all this natural stuff when I was going. Let me get back on that kick. So weight loss, I want to keep the pounds here in 2023. I lost lose 13 more, and I want to make sure that I'm staying focused on like not eating so much over processed foods. And I cook every day at home. It's pretty much the same food that I'm eating, but it's just when I'm out, like trying to wash it when I go out. So I knew that this week I was like, I knew today because my mom had mentioned us going out to lunch. And I knew we were going to a soul food place. So I knew that was gonna be a loss today. And then tomorrow I'm gonna monitor it, but we gonna see how it go. And then that's it. I'm gonna be back on my regular routine. So that's what the first thing I'm leaving in 2023. And I would say the next thing I'm leaving in 2023 is let me see these banners I got up here. Expectations of people. So a lot of this live is going to be a little bit of like culture shock of traveling. So me and Sean talked about how great it was traveling, just exploring. She retired early. I was on sabbatical. So that wasn't I knew that wasn't gonna be my permanent life. It was a temporary life. Um, and so just even being gone and even being back of people are how they are. And so instead of me being mad at them about it, so for example, I'm pretty outgoing, and I have people who are not. And I'm always like, oh, we should do this, we should do that. And then it's like they come or they cancel. Like people in my life who are just have a history of not being consistent or just not showing up, I'm leaving them where they are and I'm just matching energy. So I've been doing that already in 2023. But I'm gonna keep that going in 2024 as well. And because I've seen a comment about leaving negative people behind, I'm doing the same thing. The next one, I spent a lot on the weight because the weight, woof, y'all. That's something I'm like proud of and still disappointed in. And this is what I'm on now. Gender wars and endless TikToks and reels being shared. I can't take it. I'm already starting to leave that in 2023. I'm definitely not, I don't want it in 2024. So let me break this down. The gender wars are getting out of control. I do not typically talk about dating or relationships on my channel. I will keep that same energy next year too. However, it's just like everywhere. I've definitely made it a point to curate my feed on social media, which is one reason why I got off because it was like I couldn't curate my feed on Instagram, meaning that in my discovery, what I saw, it was always some clips from some podcast talking about like what men and women should do with dating. And it's like, oh my God. And then you have like the scripted stuff, like the Cheesecake Factory thing, and just all these like uh fake videos that people are acting in, and then everyone wants to talk about, and you can't escape it. Like if you're gonna, you just scroll, it's like everywhere. I'm just like, I don't want to see that next year. A lot of that I'm not seeing because I've gotten off social media, but I'm on YouTube, which is still a social media platform. But I've gotten better at like deleting videos or just making sure I click on videos related to topics like that. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. So I'm not just inundated with the stuff. And then telling my friends to chill out on sending me TikToks or reels or shorts or whatever they are. Basically, they TikToks and there's some new way of wording it depending on what platform you're on. I don't want to see it. And if you're just joining or you maybe about to end out, make sure you hit that like button. It helps the live, it helps my videos in general get out to more people. And If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That's what we taking in 2024. Make sure you be liking my videos. Take me into 2024. And being here on Sundays, watching at 7 p.m. It may change depending on how y'all vote on that community tab. But anyway, the gender wars, I'm not a part of them. I just want them to be left in 2023 because it's 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 annoying as heck. And then I've told some people like, please stop sending me 5 million videos in DMs and stuff. I'm not gonna watch them all. Like I'll watch some of them, but you sending me a video is not replacing us having a conversation and seeing how we actually are doing each other in each other's lives. Like me and my friend, a friend of mine talked about this the other day. Like just because you send me 25 TikToks or reels, that doesn't mean we've actually talked. We've just shared, you just shared content with me. And I guess that's some way of communicating how you're feeling, but it's not an actual conversation. So I've already told a few people to chill the F out with sending me so many TikToks and just memes and all of that stuff. Is like, okay, if I'm not on social media, I don't want to see it. But then I have people who were sending it to me, like texting me or sending it to me on WhatsApp. I'm like, if I'm not on social media, I don't want to see it. So though, like I just it's time consuming as well. And I want to be able to hear my own thoughts without if something happens in the world, it, as soon as it happens, like people are instantly having their reactions on it. And I'm like, before I can even get the facts on what's happening, I'm already hearing and seeing 50 other people's opinions. So I'm just like, ugh. So I'm gonna have to figure out how it's not just a gender wars and endless TikToks being shared. I do want to spend less time on Instagram and Facebook, so I'm going to try to figure out how I want to do that with still promoting like and sharing my YouTube content because I do like Facebook groups and stuff. So I'll do what I've been doing right now, but I kind of don't want to be on them at all. To be honest, if I had to pick one to stay on, I like Facebook a little bit more than Instagram because it's more people that I do know. Instagram, the algorithm you see people you know, and then a lot of it's like influencer. So I'm like, who is this person? With Facebook, I don't get that much of it, but yeah, I think just social media in general. I may be taking a little bit of a break from, or I may be leaving not completely, but somewhat in 2023. What are y'all thinking about some of the stuff I'm sharing? Y'all on the same wavelength that I am. If you want a replay game, let me know as well. What are you leaving in 2023? And my last one is weaponized mental health. And what I mean by this is that people self-diagnosing themselves with things and then that's it. And they state whatever they think they are enduring as a reason for not having to hold themselves accountable for anything. Or people who are like, oh, I went to therapy once or twice and I did the work and I can tell you this and I'm healed. Like it's not something I'm necessarily doing, but I just really want people to be aware of weaponized mental health. It is very annoying. Mental health is a real thing. I'm not saying that. It's just the people who I don't I can't say anything else besides weaponized mental health is what I'm coming to terms with. So saying that, let's for example, if you have anxiety, you have been diagnosed with this, you are getting help for this. That's different from someone who reads a couple articles or sees a social media meme saying you have these five if you experience these five things you have anxiety and then they say I can't do this or I don't want to my anxiety is like okay how are you combating that? Like, what are you doing to work on things? And it's just nothing. But it's just always that weaponizing the mental health thing. That's where I'm like, okay, I want everyone to leave that in 2023. So hopefully that makes sense, is what I'm saying with that. So those are my few things I'm leaving in 2023. With me continuing to do these lives I got some more stuff to say. I'm not loud enough just yet, but I wanted to share those are the things that I'm leaving in 2023. But with doing the lives, if I do them by myself, they're gonna be short and sweet, probably just a half hour with me on. But I want to get into the routine of being able to just hop on camera. Because I don't want to have to edit every video that I put up on YouTube. And I'm not talking about I talked about what I'm leaving in 2023. I'll share what I'm working on and goals for 2024, Q1 2024 to be exact. But one of those is definitely going to be growing my YouTube channel now that I'm going to be back in the US. And I'm going to be in the US all of next year. I mean, aside from traveling, but I'm not going to relocate. Like, one of my goals is to permanently relocate outside the US, like semi permanently, meaning I will come back to the US in the summer, because I do love Detroit summers for a couple months. If you don't know, that's where I'm from. I'm from Metro Detroit. So I do plan on relocating to either Nairobi, Kenya, or Thailand. And when I do that, I still plan to come back to the US every summer for a couple months. But before I came back, I was like, oh, I don't want to be out in December and January. Like, that's when I'm planning to do it. We had to look at some things. I'm like, yeah, it's not just about me moving as fast as I can. I want to have certain things in place when I move. I realized that I really didn't have my operations for my rental properties as airtight as I thought. Like, I did a decent job of managing it when I left, but I had a couple property managers that I fired. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna manage it myself and put some systems in place. And I want to, yes, they really do. Um, I think that's more of the when I was saying weaponized mental health. And if, like I said, we replay game, let me know what you think about my things in the comments below. But yeah, I lost my train of thought. But I think I was talking about moving or whatever. So I I oh, the real estate. So I changed my real estate goals, and I'm not going to be able to hit that goal as quickly as I thought. I was when I was gone. I think I was a little bit in the Lulu land, thinking what I was going to hit. But I have just different personal business goals that I want to hit. I do have a nonprofit that I am doing in Detroit as well. And I just need to be in person for certain things. COVID is gone. People are not trying to do virtual stuff anymore. It does happen here and there, but it's like for the things I need in place, I don't know why I thought it was gonna be a few months. Not gonna was gonna just get it done or make it set stuff up and then be able to leave. It's not happening like that. If I can leave sooner, that'd be great, but I'm in no rush. And so that's one of the things that was a little overwhelming when I came back. It's like everybody like, what you doing next? What you doing next? I'm like, hi. Let me just get my bearings. So now that I've been back for a couple months, I will say in Michigan, I've only really been back here consistently. November was the only month I was in Michigan the whole time. I have been everywhere, but in Michigan. So even with me saying I need to get tightened up on some things, like it's been a lot of moving with me as well. So I will be here in 2024. So with that, I keep side note, I keep wanting to say next year is 2025. I keep wanting to skip a year. I don't know why, but I plan to relocate. The goal is hopefully 2025. We'll see. I don't know. It could be next year, but as I see it right now, I'm planning for 2024. I plan to be somewhere in the US of A. With in with me taking some month-long trips to back to Kenya, um, for sure. And I want to explore a little bit more Kenya and just not Nairobi to better plan for me to go back and live a little bit long term. And hopefully I could get Thailand in there too. But I'm definitely planning on next year going to Kenya and spending a month there or more. But I do not plan on permanently or semi-permanently relocating next year. So yeah, I will be doing like I've always had YouTube since I've been traveling, but I didn't do YouTube per se before I left. A lot of my content has been travel vlogs. So next year will be a lot more personal finance, uh, about budgeting, credit, investing, all of that stuff a little bit more because if you been on my channel, it's mostly vlogs because I was traveling and I was excited. And I still got so much content that I have of me traveling that I still have to put together. So 2024 YouTube channel is going to look a little bit different for the last which you've seen since 2022 because I'm gonna be in the US of A. And when I travel, I will vlog. Like I'm gonna put a Christmas vlog up tomorrow, but it's going to be more of the finance stuff, still some travel in there. But 2024 is definitely going to be a lot more focused on YouTube versus the last year and a half that I've had. So that's why I want to have that cadence of going live, interviewing people that not interviewing, I guess having a conversation that I've met personally while traveling or other people who want to do what I did. So I'm in Metro Detroit, as I said, and there's like travel meetups. So I had this idea to travel the world when I would for a while. 2016 really sharpened it. When I was in South Africa, I met a woman who was doing it. So it was like, okay, how do I find like-minded people? I'm always like, let me find my tribe because what I may be wanting to do, my friends may not be wanting to do. Travel the world was not on anybody's radar. Like maybe it sounded good, but it seemed like it was just too far fetched of a dream. So I found Stephanie Perry on YouTube in 2017, 2018, and got really involved, like not involved, but like really like watching her YouTube channel. I still watch her YouTube channel to this day. But when I was watching her channel, it was like it was motivating me. She had different guests on telling their story and sharing their story, right? Um, and I was like, okay, I would when I left to travel, I never thought I was gonna be vlogging or doing a YouTube channel. But turns out I like it. I love it. It's creative. It was a creative outlet for me to go back and reflect on my memories. But now that I'm back here, a lot of people want to know how I did it. And so Stephanie Perry, she has different meetups. I actually went to Chicago to do a meetup with Exodus, like travel group summit. She has a whole movement of that, and there's like meetups trying to be organized in Detroit. So I'll be doing more stuff like that, doing meetups with anything like travel related, and focusing on financial gardening, my nonprofit, and my rental properties and getting all that together. So, and I will be sharing a lot more of like the entrepreneurial side of me as well in 2024 because that's why I'm here. That's why I won't be going stuff like to Kenya or Thailand and semi permanently next year because this is stuff I just really got to get locked down. So let me see if I'm missing any comments. No, I did not. So yeah, that's what's going on with me, and that's what I'm leaving. And I ain't even charged my laptop. So this battery is almost gone anyway. So I did it. I did over a half hour by myself, random live stream, kind of went off the dome a little bit. I gotta have some organization because that's just me on what I want to talk about. I'll plan on talking about next year what I'm hoping for 2024. I shared a little bit of that with y'all right now. If y'all have a topic or questions for me, even replay, let me know. I will address them live next week. Or I'll just answer them in the comments. I had a lot of comments from the live last week, and I answered every one of them. So I do read my comments, and I do have a couple comments I got from my last blog on Ghana that I gotta answer and get back in here. But I was ripping and running today. So if you have any questions, replay game, let me know in the comments. Right now, it's gonna be Sundays at 7 p.m. live with me. Until next time, bye.